Ken Whiting with Paddle TV with another in-depth kayak review. And on this beautiful spring day, I'm going to review this beauty right here. This is the Volan 162 by P&H Kayaks. It's a composite kayak designed to be a lightweight, extremely versatile boat that can handle pretty much anything the waterways throws at it. Now, I'm going to test that theory on a substantial expedition later this summer, but I didn't want to wait until the end of the summer to give you a full review of this boat. And so I'm going to take it on the water, give it its first scratches today, and let you know what I think of P&H Kayak's new Volan 162. This is the fourth model in P&H Kayak's best-selling Volan line. They have the 158 and the 160, which are established. They've been around for a while and very popular. They just came out with the 156, which is the smaller person's boat, and the 162. Which is for bigger people like me. And so let me tell you a bit more about this, and then we're going to hit the water and give it a good test. The Volan 162 has a retail price starting at $5,600 US, depending on the layup you get. It's 16 feet 2 inches long. It's 23.5 inches wide. It weighs as little as 42 pounds or 19 kilos, depending on the layup. The max paddler weight is 308 pounds, and it's designed for all conditions paddling. The boat features plenty of bow volume and rocker to keep the ride as dry as possible. It has a low rear deck for easy rolling and re-entry. It has 4 hatches, a large bow and stern hatch, plus a day hatch behind the seat and a mini hatch in front of the cockpit. Of course, it has full perimeter lines and bungees, and a hull that's designed to be fast and stable when it's flat and to carve when it's on edge. Now, one of the coolest features of P&H Kayak's composite boats is that you have the option to fully customize it. And when I say fully customize it, I mean, that's what I did with this boat. And it's the first time I've ever been able to customize a boat. I chose almost everything on this boat. I chose all the colors. Not only the deck and the hull, but the seam, the cockpit rim, the perimeter lines and the bungees. I chose the seat style in here. I chose the layup. This is an expedition layup. It's designed to be light, but not skimp on durability. It was really fun to use their online tool to piece together and see how my dream kayak would look. Now, this isn't going to be the colorway that everybody is going to love, but for me, when I saw it online and when I hoped it looked like in person, I was so excited to see it, and I am so happy with it. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm going to enjoy putting some scratches in this thing, because that's what they're designed to do. They're not designed to sit on a rack and be looked at. They're designed to be used, and it's time to start using this thing and see how she goes. Here we go. Oh yeah. Paddling a boat for the first time is a lot like paddling a river or a body of water the first time. It's always the most magical. And that's what this has been. I love my new boat. Maybe cutting right to the punchline, I'm loving this boat. I'm really looking forward to taking it on a good multi-day paddling adventure later this summer. But it's not going to be the right boat for everybody. And so that's what we're going to dig into here, is who is this boat for? And so let's start, well, like I usually do, talking about portability of a kayak, which not too much to talk about when it's not a portable kayak, but there is something to talk about. It's a 16'2" kayak. That's a big kayak. That's a long kayak. Sea kayaks are get longer than this, so it's not the longest one. That means it's going to be awkward to carry, awkward to store, awkward to transport. It is. Sea kayaks are awkward. It's not unique to this sea kayak. Every sea kayak that isn't portable. But this is an expedition layup, a beefy layup designed for durability, and it's still only around 50 pounds. And that's great. I mean, it's not nothing, but that is what you'd call a lightweight kayak. The same kayak in the classic rotomolded plastic is going to be 65, 70 pounds. That's a lot more and a lot harder to move around. A lot more difficult for a single person to deal with. So, good marks for portability. It's a sea kayak. Now, let's talk about performance. I feel like this is Groundhog Day a little bit because there's so many similarities to the Volan 160. It performs really well. It's designed as an all-round boat. And what you get when you get an all-round boat, something that can handle all types of conditions, flat water, rough water, is you get something that doesn't do anything spectacularly well. It should do everything very well. So let's talk about it on flat water. It tracks great. You know, does it track superbly? No, but you've got, in my case, I've got a skeg. If you had a rudder, then it's tracking superbly when you drop the rudder in the skeg. And I've always been a fan of the rudder system on P&H sea kayaks. Now let's talk about performance in rough conditions, or the other type of performance, which is maneuverability. You know, this boat is what I'd call very maneuverable for a 16-foot kayak. You put this thing on edge and it turns very well. Whether you're just pivoting like that, or whether you're paddling and putting it on edge to carve a turn. This thing loves to turn. What I loved about the other Volan that I tried too was how well it carved. And that's why I took it down the Ottawa River, down the main channel, a major whitewater section. I'll leave a link to that video down below. I'm not gonna do that to this boat. For one, I've already done it, but more importantly, I wanna keep this boat in primo shape before my big Lake Superior adventure later in the summer. Maybe in the fall I'll do that. But the reason I was comfortable doing that with the Volan 160, and the reason I would be relatively comfortable doing it in this boat too, is because for a 16-foot kayak, it is relatively maneuverable, but it's also stable. It's 23.5 inches wide. That's that width that still offers stability, but it's not going to slow you down too. You could have this kayak, if it was narrower, it'd be a little bit faster, but you'd be giving up stability. They wanted to create a kayak that you'd be comfortable going into the surf with, into rock gardens, but also multi-day trips, cruising around, whatever. And that's why it offers this great balance of stability and performance. Now let's talk about comfort. This is the biggest of the Volan models. I'm 6'2", 34-inch inseam, and 200 pounds, roughly, 195 pounds or so. And I've got lots of room in here, in the cockpit. I wouldn't say, I'm definitely not swimming, meaning there's not too much space in here. It's just very comfortable, the amount of space. I'd say that someone 6'5", 6'6", with 36-inch inseams would definitely be comfortable in this boat. And I don't say that about very many boats. There aren't that many boats, and there certainly aren't that many composite boats that are designed to really accommodate bigger paddlers. And it has, a weight capacity, not a capacity, but they suggest a max paddler weight of 308 pounds. That doesn't mean that its entire capacity is 308 pounds. It could take much more than that. That's just the paddler. And because they assume you're going to want to be able to take gear as well. So lots of space. The thigh hooks are really nice. They're semi-aggressive. They're aggressive enough so that rolling this thing, having a good grip with my knees in rough conditions to edge this boat, no problem. The seating system. The whole seating system is very well padded. Nice contoured butt pad, nice contoured hip pads, and a good low back band for lower back support and control. You can really customize this to get a great fit in this boat that's both comfortable but provides amazing control, amazing edge control. And I can't stress how important that is to me to have if I'm paddling a boat that I'm going to take into rough water, having outfitting that provides that type of control. You can customize a boat that doesn't come with outfitting. You can, with like mini cell foam, you can carve out hip pads and create a really comfortable cockpit area that gives you a lot of control, but it's a chunk of effort. It really is nice having something that's well designed like this. Durability, I'll tell you after Lake Superior, but this is an expedition layup boat. It's designed to take some hits. It's got Kevlar along the whole keel, a Kevlar strip for added durability where you're going to have the most wear. It's got an extra wide seam, again for durability. This thing is designed to handle what Mother Nature can throw at it, but it's a composite boat, meaning you got to take care of it. You can't just be dragging this boat around. You can't be beating it up on rocks like you can with a plastic boat. If you want a boat you don't have to care about, get a plastic boat. If you want a boat that you can love and still do all those things, but just showing it some love, that's where the composite boat comes in. The durability is going to change depending on the layup that you get. You can get this boat in an ultra-light layup, or you can get it in a heavy-duty layup, and there's a variety in between. It impacts the price of this thing, and that's just something you have to do your research into. So who's it for? Well, it's pretty straightforward who this boat is for. This boat is for someone who wants an all-round sea kayak, something that not only can do flat water, but is going to be really fun and comfortable and confidence inspiring when it gets choppy, when it gets rough. But you can also take it into the surf. You can take it into rock gardens. I mean, really, you could take this boat anywhere you would take a sea kayak and be very comfortable doing it. Do you need to be an all-round paddler to take this? No, you don't need to. It's also a great boat for someone who may just like flat water paddling right now, but hey, make no mistake, this is a lifetime kayak. This is the kind of kayak that you buy, and you're probably going to keep your whole lifetime. There's a good chance. And so as you progress as a paddler, this boat will be something that can accommodate whatever you want to do. Value, starts at $5,600 US. That's a chunk of change. Every composite boat is expensive. There's no getting around that. There's no such thing as a cheap composite boat. So, is it worth it? Well, like every other composite boat, it is worth it if that's what you want, and that's what you can afford. Absolutely. There is something really special about the feel of a composite boat as it cuts through water. What makes it so different than plastic is, aside from being significantly lighter and easier to move around, is just the feel of the boat. It's stiffer, it's smoother, and the result is something that just cuts through the water and glides so much better than a plastic boat. Pretty much you're looking at doubling the price of a plastic boat when you get a composite boat. Is it worth it? Well, I mean, yes, for me it is. And I know for a lot of people out there it is, but it's not gonna be worth it for everybody. So, all in all, this has been a treat to review this boat, to paddle this boat, to unwrap this boat, to get this boat, because there's something really special about customizing a kayak with the colors and the layup and everything that I wanted from a kayak. And so now I need to name this kayak. That's what I have too many kayaks to have names for them, but there are some kayaks, they get names. I need a name. Can you help me out with the name? The Green Machine? No. What about Grasshopper? You know? Ooh. This thing, Grasshopper, that's not bad. Names. Leave a comment down below. Give me ideas for names for this baby here. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I have enjoyed doing it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Got lots more tips, reviews, and paddling adventures coming your way, including the big one on Lake Superior with this sucker here. So subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already, and subscribe to my other channel, Ken Whiting Adventures, to watch that Lake Superior paddling adventure, along with a number of other adventures that I am going to be embarking on, because my shoulder, it's not there yet, but it's feeling so much better, and I'll be ready. I'm hoping I'll be ready to do some full days and multi-day trips within a month or so. I'll see you soon.